Okay, so we're going to do one more thing with the verb tener. And tener is used to talk about, so we use it to talk about what we have. Okay, like I have 2 eyes. I have an apple. Well, I don't have an apple, so I would say no tengo una manzana. No tengo manzana. Tengo mano, pero no tengo manzana. Okay, then the other thing that we use the verb tener for is to talk about something we have to do. Okay, and so to do that, we do the formula, write this down. Tener plus que. Oh, here. I ran out of room. Tener. That's okay. It's giving you more time to write, right? Tener plus the word que plus the infinitive. Infinitive. I always have to say that when I write it. Isn't that weird? Just like when I'm doing when I'm alphabetizing things, I still have to sing my ABCs. What are you going to do, right? This is our formula. Tener plus que plus the infinitive. This means to have to, this que does not mean to, but when you put it with tener, it does, okay? To have to do something. Right here we put a verb in the unconjugated form, and that's the action that we have to do. So, if I need to do my homework, I would write, see if you can figure it out while I'm writing it. I have, with that formula, I have to do my homework. Or a lot of times they don't make things personal, they just say I have to do the homework. So if you need to pause the video to look up how to say to do or how to say homework, go ahead, pause it now. Or if you already know, write it down and check yourself. Tengo que hacer la tarea. Okay, so notice this hacer is in the infinitive, which means it still has its ER ending. We didn't change it. Okay, so like when we say I do, we would say hago, not hacer. Hacer literally means to do. Okay, so a lot of times my students want to put any verb, put all the verbs in the form of the subject who's doing the action. So I'm doing the homework, so they want to put all the verbs in the I form. And that's common, so that's fine, but it's not right. But it's okay to make that mistake because it's a common mistake. So they would put tengo que hago la tarea. But literally, I mean, if you translated that, it would be saying I have to, I do the homework or my homework. Okay, so we don't say that in English, so it makes sense that we don't do it in Spanish. But obviously it's a foreign language, so it feels foreign to our brains, and we're just trying to figure out how to do it. So anyways, so remember, when we're talking about something we have to do, remember it's to do, so we want to put it in the infinitive, so it's to, you know, whatever. Here I actually use the verb to do. Hacer means to do or to make. But you could talk about other actions you have to do without saying do. For example, she has to, what should she have to do? She has to speak. We'll say that. How would you say she has to speak? Well, let's just say with the teacher, or with the, yeah. And remember, teacher in Spanish, a lot of times, they refer to as professor, even if it's not a college teacher. So like, when I was teaching English in Peru for one summer, many years ago, all the little kids would run around calling their teachers profesora or profesor, or a lot of times they would just shorten it to profe. Profe, 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 tengo una pregunta. Okay, so we're saying she has to speak with her teacher or the teacher. Okay? Male. Well, let's make it a male. So here's how we would say that. Tiene, and remember, we know we're talking about her because I just told you, but if it's not understood, you would say ella. Ella tiene que hablar con el profesor. Okay, so notice hablar, that word means to speak. It doesn't mean she speaks, it means to speak. Because here we already have the she form, tiene. Tiene que hablar con el profesor. She has to speak with the teacher. Okay? So just write down this formula, tener plus que plus the infinitive, and practice writing. Just like we did with the verb necesitar, make a list of things you have to do today. Okay? Put them in the comments or shoot me an email so I can check them. And see how you did. Have fun!